In this presentation, I'll be discussing how to make a point and how to present that point in a structured paragraph. So really, there are two processes at work here. Points are essential to argument because they support an argument. Strong arguments make multiple points, and each point functions as a small argument itself. Each point basically consists of a claim and its support. The support backs up the claim for the point, which backs up the major claim of the larger argument. In the coming slides, I'll define and explain each of these terms in greater detail. Of course, if there is anything unclear, please do not hesitate to contact me for an explanation, though I'm hoping the descriptions and examples offered in this slideshow presentation and the module help clarify things. When making a claim, you state what your perspective is on the topic in the form of an assertion. The claim is where you take a stand. The support backs up the claim, and support comes in two forms: reason and evidence. Every assertion must have reasons. A reason is an abstract element of logic that explains why a claim is made. Reasons look like because statements. Evidence, on the other hand, is very concrete. It is the hard proof that we can all see. Reason and evidence go hand in hand to bolster the claim, and they appear within the paragraph in the form of support sandwiches, which are centered on whatever evidence you've used, and includes context for that evidence and analysis of it. The presentation of a point begins with the claim. That assertion that takes a stand and attempts to prove something. We're only beginning to introduce the concept of the claim, and at first may be difficult to form one, but it takes practice. In time, you'll make your simple claims into more complex assertions that are significant to your argument. In general, claims attempt to prove that something exists, is desirable or undesirable, or that a particular set of actions should be taken. Claims are not facts, statistics, quotes, data, or any other kind of evidence. If it helps, think of a claim as an academic opinion. Whereas opinions in the common sense are associated with personal feelings, academic opinions rely on reasoning and evidence. Take a look at these examples of claims that appear in Leon Seltzer's article on assertiveness. Given Seltzer's writing style, it may be difficult to distinguish the assertion from the qualifications he makes. So, for the more complex statements, I've placed the assertions in bold. When writing a paragraph, you'll need to begin with a topic sentence. Now, I'm not sure how you've been taught to write topic sentences in the past. Most often I hear from students that topic sentences introduce what the paragraph is about. But the topic sentence needs to be more precise, complex, and active than some general introduction to the paragraph's content. Position your claim in the topic sentence in order to not only introduce the topic of the paragraph, but also to inform your reader how this particular paragraph makes a point that matters to your argument. When you do this, you send the message to your reader that I value your time, that I am only going to present to you crucial information needed in order for you to understand my perspective on the issue. Every claim needs a reason to support it. Remember that a reason looks like because statement. The reason explains why a claim has been made. Reasons can be included with the claim in the topic sentence, or they can appear after the topic sentence claim. Whenever you provide a reason, you're going to want to provide evidence to make that reason more concrete and clear. Evidence, as I've mentioned before, can be a detailed fact, some form of data like a statistic, or a quote. While evidence gives your reason and claim something firm to stand on, the claim and reason gives us evidence to look for. In this sense, having a precise claim with clear reasons prevents us from wandering aimlessly looking for any bit of evidence. Claims and reasons give us something specific to look for, and so can save us time and keep our paper organized. Oftentimes students won't have clear claims or reasons, and their papers just look like data dumps. A list of facts, quotes, and numbers that they've heaped onto their readers without any sense of direction or clarity as to their relationship to the argument. Once you've found your evidence, you're going to need to analyze it. Here's where you explain how your evidence is related to your reason and claim, and why it matters. You can explain the significance of your evidence in different ways, and it will depend on the kind of evidence you're using and the argument you're making. You may need to interpret the ideas or beliefs that the evidence is a sign of, compare and contrast that evidence to other evidence, or consider the causes or effects of it. Indeed, there are many strategies for analyzing evidence, but the bottom line is you need to explain why it's significant and how it's connected to your claim and reasoning. Okay, so you've crafted your topic sentence claim, included your reason or reasons for that claim, and have found the evidence you believe will support them. Now you've got to add that evidence to your working paragraph. You can't just drop it in the paragraph and expect your audience to read your mind and know where it comes from and why it matters. That's your responsibility as a writer. So to help you and your reader, you'll need to use support sandwiches. These consist of 3 parts: context for the evidence, and analysis of the evidence. You'll need 2 support sandwiches per paragraph. To introduce your evidence, your reader will need some context. Context gives us the background information the reader needs in order to understand where the evidence comes from and why this evidence and the source that it comes from matter and should be trusted. Take a moment to review the ways to contextualize a source as presented in the slide. Because this class is more cultural studies based and less scientific, most of the evidence that you'll be integrating into your support sandwiches will be quotes. In fact, quotations will be the primary, if not only, kind of evidence that you'll be using for the paper about the novel. When incorporating evidence, you can use primary source evidence to analyze in order to directly support your claim and reasoning, or secondary source evidence to back up your interpretation or to engage with in debate. We'll talk more about primary and secondary sources later. Make sure to limit what you quote. Always keep this rule in mind. What you quote, you must analyze. So don't quote what you don't plan to use in your analysis. The quoted material should not take up more space than your analysis. For now, I recommend you begin by not quoting more than 1 or 2 sentences. Before you introduce your piece of evidence, especially a quote, you'll need a signal phrase. The signal phrase appears after the context and before the quote. They include a subject and a verb, and the punctuation for them varies. Note that the verb in the signal phrase is either in the present or present perfect tense. The present perfect includes have or has plus the main verb. The examples offered here are pretty basic, but they'll help you they'll help you get the job done for the first writing assignment. If you'd like to see other ways to construct a signal phrase, check out the learning resource I've posted to this module. In total, your paragraphs will include a topic sentence claim and 2 support sandwiches. The elements of your paragraph should be presented in that order, beginning with your claim and followed by your support. Note that there should be some kind of transitional expression to connect the first support sandwich to the second one. While both support sandwiches support the topic sentence claim, they shouldn't be redundant. That is, they shouldn't say the same thing. Each support sandwich should add something new. Perhaps the easiest way to avoid being repetitive with your analysis is to provide 2 reasons, one for each topic sentence claim. To provide 2 reasons for each topic sentence claim. That way you can provide 1 support sandwich for each reason. The second reason can serve as a transition from the first reason and support sandwich to the second support sandwich. When all is said and done, it's easy to see how you'll create robust, developed paragraphs that are at least 10 sentences long and about half a page to 3/4 of a page in length. Please limit your paragraphs to no more than 1 full page or 300 words. That's the maximum length that I'll accept. When paragraphs get too long, it can be hard to keep up with the point it's trying to make. Conversely, paragraphs that are too short provide unconvincing points because they lack development. Moreover, short paragraphs, especially too many in a row, are choppy and hurt the overall argument because not enough information is provided to help the reader understand. And that's your priority. So when it comes to paragraph choices, always ask yourself, what would help my reader understand my point? Paragraph problems can be solved in many ways, but a couple of basic solutions involve the following. You either need to get more reasons and evidence to develop the support, or you need to adjust your topic sentence claim to match the support you have.